This time, the Boya BY-MM1 Plus. Hi, this microphone is the Boya BY-MM1 Plus, and just like the VXR-10, the new Movo one, it's got this thing on the back where you can plug in a headphone, which would be useful when you're using a phone but not with a camera. Comes with a pretty good dead cat. It comes with another lead for a phone, which is a 3-pin to a 3-pin. This lead is a bit misleading. It's a 3-pin to a 2-pin, and if you happen to plug it in the wrong way round, you get no sound, so be careful. You need the bent end into the microphone and the straight end into the camera. So there you go. Now, testing this microphone, I have found it a little bit more bassy perhaps indoors than other microphones, but outdoors that can be a bonus. So we're going to try this outside now and see what it's like. This is the Boya BY-MM1 Plus, and it's actually a very nice microphone. It's nicely built, good dead cat, good shock mount. And one thing I did find though is you've got to be careful with the connections, because on the back of it there's a plug with 3 pins on one plug and 2 pins on the other plug, and you have to make sure that you set that up right. The easiest way to make sure is actually the one that goes into the back of the microphone has a right angle on it, and the one that goes into the camera is just a straight input. But it's an easy mistake to make, and if you do it the wrong way round, the audio won't work at all. There is also on the back of this a headphone socket, but it's not going to work from your camera. It will work from the phone. It's just to do with connections. It's nothing to do with a fault on the microphone. The original Boya that I had, I found it a little bit more bassy than the other microphones I had around at the time. Microphones like, I still have actually, microphones like the Movo, the VXR-10, and especially the Rode Video Micro, way more bassy than that. But the weird thing is, it was more bassy indoors, a bit like the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus actually. It's very bassy indoors. When you get it outside, that bassiness actually helps its presence. So I'm hoping that the bassiness of this microphone, and this one also has that bassiness, is helping it outdoors, especially when it's 3 feet away from me. The thing is, with any microphone, it's not ideal to have it 3 feet away from you. Even that is really a little bit too far. But this is the way that many people like to go out vlogging, with the camera having a microphone right on the top there, because it's just so convenient and you haven't got wires hanging around. So it does work up to a point, but once you get too far away, your presence and the signal to noise ratio is going to get worse. So you really need to get it as close as possible. Having a microphone right on top of your camera is really convenient, and a lot of people use microphones this way because it's just so convenient. You haven't got the wires, you don't have to worry about the placement of the mic, and it's always there. And with some of them now as well, they just come on with the camera and that's fine, everything's quick. But actually it's not the ideal place to have the microphone, and it is better to have it a bit closer than even 3 feet. But I think with the Boya and its bass sort of reproduction, that bassiness actually works for it when you've got the microphone just that bit further away, and it just gives your voice a little more presence, and that can be really useful. A better way to use these microphones is actually to turn them backwards, because they're closer to you, and then you can speak directly into the microphone and you get much clearer audio that way from yourself. But you won't get so much from the front, that's the only thing. But you do get much clearer audio just by getting that microphone that little bit closer. Of course, with the Deity D4 Duo, you've got the best of both worlds, because it's got a capsule facing forwards and a capsule facing backwards, so you capture the best of both worlds. But with these microphones you have to physically turn them around. So if you turn up the gain in your camera, you're going to raise the noise levels. The only solution is going to be to get that microphone as close as possible. So for that reason I often go out with a bag, as you can see, and I take in that bag a mini tripod to hold a microphone, and an extension lead. The one I use is one from Rode because it's nicely shielded. And when possible, I try to put the microphone out of sight, or even handhold it, but get crisper audio just by pulling that microphone in closer when I've got the opportunity. So just to test this microphone's rejection to external sound, this is me from the front, this is me from the side, this is me from the rear, back to the side and back to the front, and you'll see it's picking up more on the front, which is a good thing on any microphone when you're using it outdoors. Now the thing about wind is a combination of things. It's the dead cat that you're using as well as the sensitivity of the microphone to certain frequencies. So this is just a slight breeze. And now I'm going to give it a hurricane. Now I did test this at home and I found the front to be just a little bit sensitive with this dead cat, so I'm not sure, maybe a better dead cat might work better, I don't know yet, but that's what comes with it anyway. I know that some people, especially in the UK, are thinking that this Boya mic might well be the Movo one. It's exactly the same, the new Movo VXR-10 Plus, and this one looks identical to the Movo. So that's what piqued my interest, and that's why I actually got it, to test it to see if it actually sounds like one. And in my opinion, this might not be exactly the same. I think it's slightly more bassy. There's a fly. And he's going to hang around. He wants to be, oh, it's a bee, is it, or a wasp? Wants to be in the picture. It's not. It looks exactly the same, but I think the sound is slightly different. That's the only thing to watch out for if you're in the UK. It's not necessarily. I don't think it's exactly the same as the Movo. I have compared the sound of mine with the sound of the Movo from people in the USA, and I don't think it's that similar. So I'm not convinced. So if you're in the UK, if you just wait a month or so, the Movo is actually going to appear, because I contacted them. They wouldn't give me one. So looking at that test, I found that it does sound pretty good. The Boya is quite a nice microphone. Got quite low noise, it's not too bad. The only thing I am finding with it is that it is susceptible to wind sounds. So when the wind hits this dead cat, it goes off like a banshee. So that's the only thing. You know, people talk about the Deity D4 having the same problem. Well, this one's just as bad, especially on the front. It seems to be the front is really sensitive. I'll just show you. Just by blowing onto that. So when you get a microphone like that and you're going out in a breeze, you're always really wary of any wind that's going on. I mean, I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking there's a bit of wind going on around here now, and I'm crouched in here by the house to try and get out of it, because I'm worried that the wind is going to disrupt my audio. And when you've got a microphone like that and you're going out with it on the camera, you're constantly worried about breezes and wind. It makes it a little bit difficult to use, but actually it is a nice microphone. It sounds pretty good, and I think this is retailing somewhere around £40 in the UK. So it's roughly about the same price as the Movo VXR-10 Plus when that actually arrives in the UK. It might be worth hanging around actually for the VXR-10, because I don't think they are exactly the same microphone. They look exactly the same and the body's exactly the same, but I'm not sure they sound the same. I hope this was useful to you if you're looking for a nice cheap microphone for your camera, and I hope to see you next time. Please consider subscribing, even better, thumbs up as well, and I hope to see you next time. Cheers for now.